What happens when the smartest dinosaurs to ever exist face off? In tonight's fight, we're going to see the Velociraptor versus the Utahraptor, one of the biggest rivalries in the dinosaur kingdom. And I know what you're thinking. One is way bigger than the other. How is this even a fair fight? Well, I'm gonna show you that size doesn't always matter. For the Velociraptor, its secret weapon might be its agility. But enough talking, no spoilers, let's get right into it. Velociraptor. In this corner, weighing just shy of 30 pounds, the world's most dangerous turkey, we have the Velociraptor. You didn't hear that wrong. Velociraptors were not even close to the size you saw in Jurassic Park. Those dinosaurs were much closer to Deinonychus. Instead, Velociraptors roamed the Gobi Desert in Mongolia, looking for any prey that they could get their claws on. From little lizards to mammals, dino eggs, and yes, even other tiny velociraptors, especially babies. The animal kingdom is really cruel. Velociraptors would use their 2-inch long claws, 60 serrated teeth, and specially evolved feet claws to pounce, grab, and drag their prey to the ground to deliver the final blow. Now, don't let their small size trick you. These velociraptors were quick, efficient, and most importantly, clever. Paleontologists believed that velociraptors were one of the smartest dinosaurs ever because it had a huge brain in proportion to its size. That doesn't mean velociraptors were writing philosophy or solving math equations, but the cleverness meant that velociraptors could think and adapt on the fly. But unfortunately, what velociraptors couldn't do was actually fly. Despite being related to other birds and having feathers, velociraptors weren't able to lift off to dive into their prey. But with the power of AI, we can now see what that would look like, and yeah, let's keep these guys on the ground. However, that doesn't mean that they didn't have any lift to them. Velociraptors would ambush their prey and leap at them with their powerful talons, looking to grip and drag them to the ground. Now, due to their light weight, velociraptors could get some serious height, and gravity, well, that just made them more powerful. But I have a question. What if the Velociraptor actually was the size seen in Jurassic Park? Well, then that would give you the Utahraptor. And in this corner, weighing over 350 kilograms, the king of raptors, it's the Utahraptor. This bad boy was part of the dromaeosaur family, the same as the Velociraptor, but it was undeniably the largest member of the family. Utahraptors were heavy, bulky animals that were over 18 feet long. That's almost as long as an RV. But remember, the Utahraptor is part of the raptor family. They have large, nearly a foot-long claws that were meant to stab, pull, and pin prey to the ground. They were extremely clever, obviously, relative to other dinosaurs, meaning they could adapt and pounce at any moment. Well, maybe not that last part. Due to the size and weight of the Utahraptor, it wouldn't be very good at jumping or pouncing due to its size and weight, but it was fast. Utahraptors could run up to 20 miles per hour. That's about as fast as a rabbit can run. Now, imagine if that rabbit was 100 times bigger with serrated teeth, giant claws, and a hunger for flesh. Ugh. I just gave myself goosebumps. Although the Utahraptor couldn't really jump or pounce, it was still a ferocious ambush-style hunter, hiding in bushes and nearby foliage to grab and take down its prey. Paleontologists like to describe the Utahraptor as the dinosaur equivalent of the saber-toothed tiger. And if you've seen that episode of Versus, you'll know that saber-toothed tigers were able to take down mammoths with ease. And if you haven't seen that episode, check it out, it's really good. And now it's time to put these two killing machines in our ultimate testing grounds, the lightning round. We'll be going through 3 rounds to see who has the clear advantage for the final battle. We'll be testing speed, hunting tactics, and social skills. May the best raptor win. Speed. The Utahraptor was an immensely fast runner, especially compared to its size and weight. With 2 powerful legs and several claws meant for gripping and propelling, the Utahraptor was the king of burst speed, hitting around 20 miles per hour. That's terrifying, but a human's burst speed is actually kind of faster. The Utahraptor was just limited by its size and weight. The Velociraptor, however, had no such issue. Being able to run 25 miles per hour, this carnivorous turkey had the speed speed and agility to ambush and chase any prey they wanted that was smaller than them. Their smaller weight meant that they could hit top speed very quickly, giving them a way out of predators and a way in to prey. Now, those 5 extra miles may not seem like that much, but every foot away from a predator is another day alive in the dinosaur world, which means our winner is the Velociraptor. Although the Utahraptor has impressive speed compared to its size, it just can't keep up with our chicken with a vengeance. Winner, Velociraptor. Hunting tactics. Both the Utahraptor and Velociraptor had similar hunting tactics, with one key difference: pouncing. The Velociraptor's smaller size meant that it was in the bushes, waiting for its prey to turn its back, and then leap out and tackle it to the ground, piercing its sides and pinning it for an easy kill. The Utahraptor, however, did not have that luxury, with its size and weight limiting its jumping potential. Unfortunately, no NBA for this raptor. Toronto Raptor. Get it? Because moving on. But we are underestimating just how important size and weight are to hunting. It's what made the saber-toothed tiger so vicious, why the T-Rex was the apex predator of the Cretaceous period, and it's why the Utahraptor would see much more success than its smaller cousin. Although it couldn't jump, it didn't really need to. Bursting out of the bushes with almost 1,000 pounds of pure muscle and tackling its prey to the ground with 1-foot-long claws meant lights out for most dinosaurs. Unless you're a T-Rex, of course. And it's why the Utahraptor is the winner of this round. Winner, Utahraptor. Social pack. Through our intensive research here at Versus, we have found that paleontologists and scientists are unable to find full substantial evidence that velociraptors and Utahraptors actually roamed in packs. Yeah, it kinda sucks. However, there is evidence to show that, at least in some capacity, these raptors did work together to take down prey, but it would be more like Komodo dragons and less like lions or wolves. If the Utahraptor hunted in packs like Komodo dragons, it was less rely on your teammates for food and more, oh, hey, that raptor's trying to get food, guess I'll join in. Which meant coordination was sloppy at best, but 3 Utahraptors are still better than 1. Being able to poke, wear down, and eventually rip their prey means that the Utahraptor's social skills were low, but manageable. And the same could be said for the Velociraptor. They were solitary hunters until coordination was needed for bigger prey, or when they just saw an opportunity for free food, but in much smaller groups. So, who wins this category? It's tough to choose. They're pretty much the same, but I'd rather have a pack of Velociraptors after me than a pack of Utahraptors. Their size and weight meant that they could really bully their prey, and in the dinosaur kingdom, that would keep you on top. Winner, Utahraptor. And with that, we have our winner of the lightning round, the Utahraptor. Clearly, size and power are important factors for who's gonna come out on top, and the Utahraptor is dominating at basically every point. The Velociraptor will need to adapt and stay smart in order to come out on top, or maybe just play a little dirty. But before we get into that, it's that time you've been waiting for, the showdown. It's time for the fight. A true 1v1, a basic arena, no complications, no help, no environmental hazards. The deadliest battle in dinosaur history. Let's see who would win. The Utahraptor and Velociraptor are frozen, seeing each other from across the wide open desert. There's no place to hide, no place to ambush, and no place to run. The Velociraptor, seeing the massive size difference, knows that in order to survive, it needs to be smarter and faster. Breaking out into a sprint, the Utahraptor bolts towards its newfound prey. The Velociraptor quickly runs around the Utahraptor, looking for any chance to strike. Getting a little too close for comfort, the Utahraptor snaps at the Velociraptor, just barely missing him, and giving the Velociraptor the chance for a counterattack. Leaping in the air, the Velociraptor pounces onto the Utahraptor's back, digging its claws into the Utahraptor's flesh. Suddenly a whip and dizziness. Blackness around its eyes. The Velociraptor is confused. The Utahraptor has flung the Velociraptor off its back with its massive claws and weight, crashing its competition to the ground. Slightly dazed, this is all the Utahraptor needs to finish the fight. A burst of speed, the Utahraptor's claws are out as it crushes and snaps the Velociraptor's neck. It's over, folks. A decisive victory for the Utahraptor. Size and weight differences are so so important for predators, and unfortunately, the Utahraptor just has the Velociraptor beat. They are both very smart, fast raptors, and honestly, it would take a miracle for the Velociraptor to come out alive, let alone win against the Utahraptor. But stay in your seats, folks, because this first fight was unfair. We're having a turkey fight a lion here. So I've created 3 more fights to crown our true winner, and maybe the Velociraptor the push to take the win. Let's get right into the next fights. In this next fight, we are putting these predators in their natural habitat, a place both ambush hunters can shine. It's real life environment. Strap in, folks, we are deep in dense foliage, bushes and trees blocking all sight lines, and yet these predators have already noticed each other. Slowly sinking down, both are waiting for the perfect chance to strike. And there it is. The Velociraptor pounces forward, moving fast, darting between bushes, trying to use speed and agility to probe for an opening. But this isn't the Velociraptor's experience taking over, it's fear. Patience is the key to victory in an ambush fight, and this Utahraptor knows it. The larger predator isn't rushing. It's letting the foliage break up sightlines, using cover to mask its sheer size. The Velociraptor dives into the bushes to find nothing. It's all part of the Utahraptor's plan. There it is. The Utahraptor explodes out of the bush, claws out and ready to strike. The Velociraptor tries to pivot, anything just to get away, but there's just no room. The Utahraptor's weight crashes in, pinning and overpowering the Velociraptor in an instant. And once those massive claws find flesh, it's over fast. In a real-world ambush scenario, size plus patience wins the day. The Utahraptor wins here because it knows it's the apex predator here. The Velociraptor is terrified. I would be too if I saw something about 10 times bigger than me. This is clearly a predator hungry for the hunt, and it's not gonna act like a predator against it. It's gonna act like prey. And that's exactly what the Utahraptor wants. Winner, Utahraptor. In our next round, we're evening the odds. The Velociraptor gets a pack, trying to get something a little bit more equal to the weight of our Utahraptor king. So let's see if the Velociraptor can sneak out a victory. It's pack versus raptor. For the first time in any of these fights, the Velociraptor feels at ease looking at this massive hulking cousin of his. By itself, the Velociraptor stands no chance, but 15 Velociraptors hungry and ready? Well, that's a different story. 15 Velociraptors circle, chattering, feinting, testing that massive Utahraptor in the center. The Utahraptor is uneasy. It's snapping, swiping, throwing its weight around, anything for deterrence. But this pack is desperate. It's hungry. Every time one gets close, the Utahraptor snaps back with brute force, forcing the pack to scatter, but they keep coming back. Suddenly, an explosion of movement. One raptor darts in, another slashes from the side, another snaps at the tail. The Utahraptor is able to grab one, bite another, smack another, but that just leaves 12 more Velociraptors. The Utahraptor is burning energy fast, and these scratches and bites are making it even worse. The circle tightens. Openings start to appear. Suddenly, 3 start biting, then 5. Then the whole pack dives in. Weight can't save you when you're being dragged down from every angle. The Utahraptor viciously bites, struggling to find its way out, but there is none. Sheer numbers overwhelm it. After a brutal, relentless assault, the pack finally brings the giant down. The Velociraptor wins here for one major reason. It's desperate. It's guaranteed that the Utahraptor isn't gonna take down at least half of the pack with it, and honestly, only a desperate pack of Velociraptors could pull that off. But it's also what allowed our Velociraptor competitor to get its first win. Hey, nice job, Velociraptor. Winner, Velociraptor. This is it, the final fight. The Velociraptor needs to win this for a chance at winning everything. So I'm gonna change it up a bit. We're doing a Jurassic Park homage to see which raptor can stalk, ambush, and get their prey before the other one can. Different prey for differently sized raptors, but the first kill wins it all. The final battle begins now, taking down their prey. This unconventional fight isn't a battle of precision and power, it's a race against the clock. Both predators lock onto their targets, smaller prey that unfortunately found themselves on this YouTube channel, and wrap around to get into position. As they slowly sink towards their prey, they're looking for any sign that this prey has let its guard down, and the Velociraptor sees its chance. Darting forward with intense speed and precision, it pounces at its prey, trying to drag down its food. But suddenly, Unfortunately, the smaller size of the Velociraptor has become a big problem. The prey is resisting, and this fight is becoming one of endurance. The Utahraptor, however, has committed to the ambush. It wants this over in a flash, and with its slower speed and higher weight, it knows that that's the only way it can win. One attack, one snap, and this Utahraptor gets its crown. The Velociraptor is struggling against its prey, but it's working. The prey is slowing down just a little bit more, except the Utahraptor is making its move. Bursting out of the bushes, the Utahraptor tackles and pins its prey to the ground, bringing the power with its sharp claws. And with one quick blow, finishes its prey. The Velociraptor struggles, but finally gets its meal. The Utahraptor, however, had already taken down its prey cleanly and claims the win. The Utahraptor wins here because its size and weight forces it to be patient and decisive. There's no other way to survive. With the smaller weight and leaping capabilities of the Velociraptor, it has the luxury to just try its luck. And sometimes, luck isn't on your side. Winner: Utahraptor. Which means we have our winner of Versus, the Utahraptor. We tried everything we could at Versus to create a fair fight, but this Utahraptor is just too much of a powerhouse to be stopped. It's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the king of the raptors. No one's gonna get that reference. And really, did you expect anything different? If you did, let me know down in the comments below, and let us know which fights you wanna see next. We got Megalodons versus Leviathans, Komodo dragons versus lions, and so much more. Check it out and don't forget to subscribe.